Whew, it's a hot one today. So guys, I brought you out here today. I made a little bit of a different change inside my kit, and I want to talk to you guys about it, see what you think about it. It's about hydration, so let's see if we can walk around, check some stuff out, and then when we need a break, we'll sit down and we'll you know, have a drink and talk a little. So on days like today, when it's really humid outside, 30 degrees Celsius, hot and muggy, and you're out having one of these nice hikes out in the woods, you really got to make sure you stay hydrated. And recently I have had kind of a change of heart in my methods of staying hydrated. For the longest time I was always a water bottle guy, but I've discovered there's one major problem with a water bottle, and believe it or not, it comes out of determination and laziness. But when you're out on the trails and you're trying to get to places and you're doing things and you're keeping your water bottle in your backpack, it becomes very inconvenient to have to stop every time and take off your backpack and drink the water, and then put it back on and then readjust your pack. Now, if we're talking about a rather large pack, like a good 60-liter rucksack or whatever it is, that can become a real pain to have to take everything down, strip it all off, put it back on, readjust it for a couple of sips of water that you're probably gonna have to do again in 10 minutes anyway. So as soon as I get to a decent spot, we'll stop and we'll chat about why I switched and why I like it, and we'll go from there. Looks like some kids were in here trying to build a little A-frame shelter. Huh, interesting. So anyway, a couple of weeks back, you probably saw the video where I identified the dryad saddle mushroom, or the pheasant back. I was hiking on a Mogrigo, and while I was up there, it was a really hot and humid day. We were traveling up and down and all that stuff. We were having a great time. But then I started to cramp up pretty bad. And I was carrying like 3 liters of water on me, but it was always in my backpack. And instead of stopping all the time when I should, or taking a sip when I should, I was getting a little bit on the lazy side, and I didn't want to slow people down by having to take off my pack, open up my bottle, take my sip, put the bottle back, readjust my pack, and then move on. So after that, I was planning on doing my hike in the Laurentians, and I knew that I needed something that was going to be able to keep me hydrated while on the move. So I ended up digging out this old, it's an outbound water bladder. That I ended up getting this with an old backpack. I'll give you a close up of this in a minute. It does the trick. It holds 2 liters of water, but it's got a few things on it that I don't like, and we'll get into that in a minute. And then once the trip came along, I ended up picking up another water bladder, which is slightly different and not much different in price. If I was to go buy this at the store, it's not that much different in price, and it is way better. It's got some features that you might want to look at if you're ever planning on going this direction. So I'll give you a quick look at the new one that I have, and how I attach it, and then we'll get into the old one and why I don't like it. All right. So this is my outbound one. It's an efficient water container. It holds onto water just fine, but it has a few things on it that I don't like. Now, the first thing is how you fill it up. The hole is kind of small, so when you're done and you want to maintain your water bladder, you can't really dry out the inside. It's kind of difficult. You have to put something inside there to hold the bag open and to clean it up. As you can see, there's the water bladder, there's my finger, It's probably about maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches in diameter. So getting something in there to dry it out would be tough. At the bottom, at the tip, it has you just pull it out. You'll see here, you pull that out and then you just bite the tip and you suck, and it works just fine. I'll give you a close-up of that. You see that? It's efficient, and when you push on it, you'll suck. You'll open up the little thing inside, and it'll do its thing. When you're done, you close it back up and you move on. There's a couple things I don't like about this water bladder. One, it doesn't have access to dry out the inside, and two, it doesn't have a cap to cover this thing. So when you're walking out in an area like this in heavy mosquito country, and you've sprayed yourself with all kinds of bug spray, and this is hanging over your shoulder, for example, on your pack, and it's on your thing and it's rubbing against your shirt, when you go to put your mouth on there, it tastes horrible. I don't know if you've ever tasted DEET before, but it makes you want to change. It's horrible. You don't want it to happen. So all things considered, does it do the job? Yes. Does it do the job as good as it can? No. So when you're trying to maintain these guys, you would want to unscrew this, whip it around a little bit to try to get all the water out as possible, open it up to have the air to be able to suck its way through and get as much of the water out as possible. To do that in this, it's very difficult to do that. If you try to tuck a paper towel in there or whatever it is, it'll get stuck. So what I used to do is in this case, I would open up the cap. I would clean off the hose really well to make sure I don't put any bacteria inside the bladder. I was tucking this inside and trying to get it as far down as possible to hold it open, and then I'd hang it up so this way air would get in and out somehow, and hopefully dry it out as good as possible. And it seemed to have worked, but it would take a couple of days sometimes to dry out, and you don't want to have mildew or anything like that in there. If I got mildew in this, I would just throw it away. I switched to this water bladder. This is the Waterfly. It's a Waterfly 3-liter light bag. It has an entrance to the top, so you could, I'm not going to take it off because I do have water in here at the moment, but you could slide this off, open up the bag, reach right in, dry it out with some paper towels or whatever you need to dry it out with, and then close it right back up again. You've got a nice large opening. It's slightly bigger than the other one. So when you fill it up, it's really no big deal. It's easy to do that. It's got a quick lock release here. I don't know if I can open this up when there's water in it, but we'll give it a try. To reattach it, you have a couple of grooves in there. See if you can see that. You just take your 2 groove pieces, you drop that inside, and then turn it, and then you're locked in and it won't leak. So when you put it into your backpack, you can attach it to the top with the strap if it comes with one, or the pocket can sit on this clip and your bag will rest like that. I actually use both in my bag. I find it holds up better. So it also has a cap for the mouthpiece. So this one works in the same way. You pull up, it unlocks, and then you just suck, and it comes out really easy. Bite and suck, no problem. The only thing I do wish, I think it would be easier if this was on a 90 degree. That would be a little bit better, I think. But it's also got the cap, so when I have this one over my back, and if it rubs against my shirt and I've got bug repellent on there, I don't have to worry about having to eat it later on. All right, so you'll see I've got my pack open, and right under the front I've got a little flap. So I'll tuck this inside the hole here. I leave the clip outside, and because the hole on my backpack is over on this side, I will make sure that I pass my hose on that side to give me the maximum length that I need. Pass the hose through. Oh, I forgot to mention, it also has an insulated cover for the tube, which is something that this one doesn't have. So what while you're out and walking around and you got water in this tube, it tends to really get hot fast. So the first couple of drinks of water is really really warm, and this one, even though it's black, it actually makes quite a bit of difference on how hot or how cold your water stays, and it works very well. All right, so as you'll notice up here, I've got this little Velcro tab here, and you just pass it through the loop, stick it on, fold everything over, and you're ready to go. Being able to just pop this off, taking 2 or 3 sips, closing it right back up again, and hitting the road without ever stopping really makes a big difference. You know, was it something that would be a good idea to maybe carry the water bladder and your bottle in case something ever punctures your water bladder? Maybe. But if you're ever looking for one of these, I found this on Amazon.ca, so the Canadian Amazon, and it was around 22 bucks I think I paid for it. And that cheapy one that I showed you, the outbound one, which works, but it's just not the best thing out there. That one was going for around $14 or $15. So having the extra $7 for all the bonuses that you get with this one and the durability that it has, I think it's a great water bladder. So I don't really want this to become a water bottle versus water bladder thing. To be honest, with my Pathfinder water bottle, some of the guys at work started calling me Uncle Si, as everywhere I go, I always had that thing on me. I drink most of my drinks out of it at home when I'm sipping water back or whatever it is. I've got my water bottle. I don't use a glass. You know, it's just I'm attached to that thing. I said, but it was kind of impractical for me to use while I'm out on the trails, because I know that once I'm focused on doing something, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I gotta take my pack off again. Forget it, I'll just keep going. And me personally, that will get me in trouble. So I don't know if any of you guys are out there that are like me, where you're kind of on the go and you don't want to stop, but it may be a good idea to invest in one of these guys. I mean, they're not really not that expensive. It's BPA-free. It's got great. Doesn't really taste that much different. Doesn't really change the taste of the water that much compared to some of the other brands that I've tried. So anyway, and it's got a microban in it too. So the plastic or whatever it is has some kind of chemical or whatever it is that'll keep it from growing mold or fungus. So anyway guys, that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick look at my my Waterfly 3-liter lite water bladder. I think it's a great tool, and I'll be using this a lot because it definitely keeps me nice and hydrated on the fly, where I don't have to stop. If you're out on the market and you're looking for a water bladder, I would definitely vouch for this one. I find it's very good, but there's a whole bunch of them out there that are good. And you know, if you guys think that you know, if you guys would be interested in trying one of these things, or you have tried them, and what's your thoughts on them, I'd love to hear it. So if you want to shoot me a comment and you know, maybe bring something to light to me, because so far I am pretty new to these water bladders. So if you've got something you'd like to add to it, just pop it down on the bottom. I'd appreciate to hear your thoughts. So anyway, I gotta beat it. So it's coming near supper time. You guys take care, get out and explore, enjoy the wilderness, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching.